And now we are getting in a reaction from the Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, who has also tweeted on the recent incident of how a DSP was lynched to death. He says, and I quote, "The brutal lynching of Deputy Superintendent of Police Mohammed Ayub Pandit marks a new low, pained beyond words at the horrific incident." Those are the words coming in from Rahul Gandhi, the Congress Vice President, who has also expressed his pain on social media on the killing of the Deputy Superintendent of Police, who was lynched to death by an irate mob. So widespread condemnation there coming in from all political parties. The National Conference, in fact, going ahead and demanding the removal of the security of Mirwais Umar Farooq. And now we're getting in a reaction from Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi. This at a time when the Chief Minister herself has condemned the incident, calling it absolutely shameful. Supriya Bharadwaj joins us with the very latest on this. Supriya, we're just hearing from the Congress Vice President as well, who has expressed pain about the horrific incident that has been reported.
Well, Avantika, through series of tweets, Congress Vice President has not just condemned the entire episode there, but he has even slammed the BJP-PDP government. The latest tweet which he has done is saying, "Heartbreaking to see Jammu and Kashmir being pushed back several decades because of the complete failure of the PDP-BJP government." This, I quote the tweet which has been done by Rahul Gandhi. Certainly, as far as the situation which is unfurling in Jammu and Kashmir, more and more political parties are slamming BJP-PDP government, as well as saying that it is high time a president's rule should be imposed there. And now with latest coming in from Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi with those two tweets where he's saying that he's pained beyond words at the horrific incident, and also he has said that it's complete failure of BJP-PDP government. We are hearing from the opposition's camp that Jammu Kashmir and the situation there will be one of the top agendas which will be raised during the upcoming monsoon session, which is going to start from next month itself, the first half on 12th of July. And they are saying that they will be asking the government to answer as to why such situation is panning out and why not so far the situation has been brought under control.
No, and absolutely those demands being asked not just from the opposition but from BDP's ally BJP as well. Supriya, thanks so much for joining us. Just a quick reminder for the benefit of our viewers about the incident. The Jammu and Kashmir Deputy Superintendent of Police Mohammed Ayub Pandit was lynched to death by a furious mob outside Srinagar's Jamia Mosque yesterday. In fact, he was posted outside to ensure that nothing untoward takes place. He was part of the security deployment outside the mosque. He was beaten to death by the same mob that he was there to protect. Now, according to sources, the DSP, Ayub Pandit, was first roughed up by the crowd outside the mosque, allegedly after he was caught clicking pictures. Now, there are various versions emerging about the incident. There is one version that he was seen clicking pictures, he was seen taking selfies, which had triggered the mob to have attacked him. The other version was that a few people who were there at the mosque to offer prayers spotted the security personnel with a pistol, and when asked as to why was he carrying a weapon, that's what led to the crowd getting agitated. We're getting the visuals of what exactly happened outside the mosque and just how, you know, the police officer was lynched to death. Just take a look at the number of people. There perhaps are just more than 100 people outside the mosque, and there was just one officer who was posted outside the mosque for security purposes. Those are also some of the questions that are being asked as to why was there one officer who was posted outside this mosque for security when it was known that it was an auspicious time, when it was known that more than 100 worshippers, devotees were supposed to arrive at the mosque to offer their prayers. There are reports of the police officer opening fire in self-defense, in which 3 people sustained injuries, and that led the situation go completely out of control. Shuja Halak joins us for more on this. In fact, Shuja has been speaking to all the police officers and also to the DGP, SP, where a short while back. Shuja, we're just playing out the visuals of that video that has emerged of what possibly would have taken place. And just take a look at the number of devotees who are outside the mosque. It's an overwhelming number of devotees, of worshippers. One just can't understand what was one lone cop doing outside the mosque.
Well, those are questions that will come up, and a lot of people have already asked those questions. Why was he alone there? I mean, what was his security detail doing? A DSP is supposed to have some security, some PSOs along with him. But that's something that has remained unanswered. Even the DGP himself said, he was alone, and he in fact was looking for answers when that question was posed to him. And as far as this video is concerned, and the number of people are concerned, it's not uncommon, this number of people present at Jama Masjid on a day like that. It was an auspicious day and a religious day. There are thousands of people who come to this mosque from all across Kashmir. It's a grand mosque. The question really is that if there was a security plan that was put in place and there was a protocol that was followed, was it a part of the protocol that this officer was sent alone? Or there was some sort of a lacuna when it comes to ensuring his own personal security by those who planned that security detail. Those are the questions that would definitely be asked. But nonetheless, the act has been condemned. It is a brutal act.
The DSP was posted on security duty outside the mosque. That's something that has been confirmed by Mr. SP Ved when he was speaking to you. But what was the provocation? There are so many versions, coming out about the incident. The DGP himself admitting that they're, investigating and exploring all of those versions. What is it that you're hearing from the Jammu and Kashmir police?
Well, they are investigating all angles into it. The sequence of events is still to be made clear. There are various versions coming out. In fact, DGP himself said that one of the reports suggested that he was clicking pictures, and that raised the alarm that caused the suspicion, and that's how some people caught hold of him, and then he fired from his pistol in self-defense, which led to the entire incident of lynching. But there are other reports also coming in from the locals who were present there. So all of this will have to be put in perspective once an investigation is carried out and thoroughly. It is looked at what led to which incident. But given the fact that there were so many people attending this function, number goes to thousands of people. It will not be an easy task to establish, each thread of this incident. But now the police is saying that they have arrested 2 people. One of the men has been identified. There is a lookout for him, and they will certainly go ahead and try and question these people and ask them who are the other people who are involved in direct attack on this cop. This is something that is, subject to investigation, and this is exactly what the official line of the J&K police is. But overall, this incident has invited a lot of condemnation from all across the society in Jammu and Kashmir.
And also for the state government, isn't it, Shuja? We heard, Mehbooba Mufti condemning the incident, calling it shameful. Ravinder Raina joins us from the BJP. And, sir, there is widespread condemnation coming in from various political parties. The National Conference, in fact, saying that the security of Mirwais Umar Farooq needs to be removed with immediate effect. But there are also questions being asked of the PDP government. I mean, the chief minister being accused of absolutely being ineffective, powerless, of not being able to get the situation under control. Why is it that the situation is spiraling out of control? Why is it that the security service personnel are coming under repeated attacks?
First of all, I would say, and I will definitely condemn this attack. It is a barbaric attack and most condemnable. And I would say shame on the goons of Hurriyat people. Shame on all these Hurriyat leaders. Those assaulted earlier our journalist Kamaljit Sandhu, and now a police security officer of Jammu and Kashmir Police. Shame on these coward people. And as far as Jammu and Kashmir government is concerned, we have already arrested 2 of the main accused, 3 of the main accused. 2 have already been arrested, and the hunt operation is going on, and police have already conducted search operation on the house or residence of 3rd accused. We will never spare all these goons. And yes, I agreed the security of Mirwais Umar Farooq, Maulvi and all other Hurriyat leaders must be withdrawn immediately. And it is right time for the Honorable Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti ji, to act strongly. It is the right time to hit, to match goons, because these are the murderers of Kashmir.
No, so when will that action take place, sir? I mean, security personnel are coming under attack, not just now by militants, but by their own people. Locals are now attacking the state police. I mean, such is, the situation now, which is not only alarming, it's absolutely getting out of control. Why is it that the state administration and the chief minister is not acting upon it? I mean, mere words of condemnation, of reassurance, will not really cut ties with the people of those who are losing their loved ones.
Avantika ji, yesterday there was a religious program, a very religious holiday of the Muslims. It is called Shabbe Qadar.
Yes.
And on this particular day, Muslims used to pray whole night to the Almighty. And it was a day when all comes to seek forgiveness from the God for their sins. And this police officer, who was a local, who was known to many of them who were gone to the prayers, but there were some goons of Hurriyat Conference, some goons of Mirwais Maulvi Umar Farooq, because he was there inside.
But isn't the Jammu and Kashmir police answerable, sir? You yourself saying that this was such an important auspicious day when hundreds of devotees were expected to arrive at the mosque. Why was he the only police officer who was posted outside the mosque for security? I mean, doesn't that baffle you?
Ma'am, actually this police officer went in a civil uniform. He was having pistol and revolver with him, but he too was gone to attend the prayer first, man. He too, because being a Muslim, Mohammed Yaqub, being a Muslim and the resident of downtown area, he went there to pray the Almighty, to join this Shabbe Qadar night prayer. But see what happened. These goons calling themselves the leaders of Kashmir, these are murderers of Kashmir. And I assure you that now it will be a turning point in the history of Kashmir, and we will never ever spare these goons. Never, never.
Right, Ravinder Raina there. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're continuing coverage of how a Deputy Superintendent of Police was lynched to death by an angry mob yesterday outside the Jamia Mosque in Srinagar. Pooja Shali joins us also now. And, Pooja, since the morning, we're getting in the voices of condolences, condemnation coming in not just from the state government and the chief minister, but from the separatists and from the opposition parties. But very little action on the ground with, the family members now crying foul and saying that there were several lapses to this incident.
Well, definitely a political war of words also escalating. The National Conference, Junaid Mattu decides to put on social media that the Mirwais security must be revoked, considering he was the one organizing the prayers, and that is why, because it was such a holy day, a lot of people in numbers of thousands had converged, so he also needs to face that responsibility. The security was primarily for the mosque, for security access, but indirectly also for people like him. And now the Bharatiya Janata Party also coming out with a statement. The state BJP says, Khalid Jahangir, specifically the spokesperson of the party, says Mirwais security needs to be revoked. They've also called it an extremely condemnable act that had happened. But let's not forget, it's going to be most difficult one for the colleagues of Jammu and Kashmir police, but also for the family, because just a few days to go for the festival, and this is what the family has to go through. He was residing very close to where this incident has happened. He was primarily there, let's remember, to protect law and order, because there were people in thousands who had converged. He was one of the policemen who was supposed to be taking care of the people who were there, but instead it went so horribly wrong that the people turned on him. And this one...
here playing out to you is the visuals from outside the mosque. Now, very interestingly, we received information, according to sources in the Indian Army, the attack that was made on the Deputy Superintendent of Police was pre-planned. It was a well thought out, well coordinated attack. It was not something that was spontaneous. It was not something that was impulsive. This was a well-planned attack. And this is coming just days after, 6 policemen were ambushed and were killed by militants in another well-coordinated attack that has, really raised questions about the ineffectiveness of the state government in providing security to its security personnel, to the state police, to the CRPF, even to the others who have been really trying to get the situation out of control. Questions are also being asked as to why, when one had expected the presence of hundreds of devotees at the mosque on an auspicious day last night, was there just one DSP posted on security duty outside the mosque? Pooja Shali is there with us. And, Pooja, you were talking about the political blame game. But what's very important also to note here is the kind of information coming about on this kind of attack, of it being probably a pre-planned, premeditated murder, something that was already thought of.
Well, Avantika, during these situations, there are all kinds of conspiracy theories that do come in the picture. But unless confirmed, it would not really be fair to speak on that specifically. But the fact remains that if there is also a reference to that he had to fire, the firing was consistently, as maintained by the Jammu and Kashmir police, was likely in self-defense, because there were hundreds of people who had pounced on this individual who was in civils. He was not even in uniform. He was either taking pictures, or probably some attempt was being made to maintain law and order, and that is when the crowd went berserk. So of course investigation will follow as to what went wrong, but definitely a very difficult moment for the colleagues, for the families, and most significantly, what really is the attempt here. Was this only a crowd getting angry over a policeman in civils, or was it something more? Was it really pre-planned, and what really is the attempt? Because let's not forget, in the past few weeks there have been intelligence inputs that have been accepted by the police and the administration, that there have been suspicious movements observed in the downtown area of Srinagar city. Could this be a reference to that? Could it be going worse? What sort of restrictions are being imposed in the city? But most significantly, again, the question and the responsibility will come on the elected government, the PDP-BJP alliance. What more can they do to make sure that policemen who are protecting not only politicians,
and that's a very pertinent point that you make, because those questions are already being asked of the PDP government and the Chief Minister. Pooja Shali, thanks so much for now. But, I'm going to keep coming back to you. We just have to take a very short break. Stay tuned. India Today will be back with more.